Welcome to the Mountain Range Raceway for the PttyBlue 430. Chad Limburner driving a 1970 Plymouth this evening, just like Richard Petty, the king. More importantly, this evening though, Steve Brown can bring the gap together in the points between himself and Bill Steinbach to try to take the lead into the near future as the points battle heats up and as the temperatures drop as the evening rolls in. Get ready for some rough, ready, road course racing. Getting ready for the PttyBlue 430 from the Mountain Range Raceway. Steve Brown is on the pole position in that Ford Mustang. Second place, Chevrolet Chevelle number 80, Bill Steinbach. And in third place, we have that number 25 Plymouth, Chad Limburner. So get ready for some great road course action. 3, 2, 1, go.
Green is out and it's gear jamming towards turn number 1. Steve Brown with a wreck at the start-finish line. Bill Steinbach going out through and upside down up into the grass, taking a hit from Steve Brown. He'll run onto the track, put that car back on all four wheels, fix the antenna, and he'll continue on rolling back in third position as Chad Limburner now holds the number 2 spot, and Steve Brown almost coming up to lap Bill Steinbach. His second time through the chicane off of turn number 5.
All right, we see the cars here on that overhead angle of the restart line, and we have a yellow flag on lap 3, so we'll utilize that restart line. Here's an instant replay of what happened on lap 1. We just see Steinbach be pushed up into the grass there. He'll roll down back onto the track, and he'll get his car moving, though.
I went so fast, I wanted to slow down.
Coming back around for the first restart of the day. Steve Brown taking that bottom lane along with Chad Limburner. Bill Steinbach will get into the table post there. Coming down into turn number 3, heavy on the brakes. Bill Steinbach over into the gravel pit. He'll run onto the track, and he'll take a fall. Lap 4, caution flag is out. Here's an instant replay. As Bill runs onto the track, this is in slow motion. Look at him slide on that gravel. Incredible.
Yes, his car was there sideways in the gravel. He had to run out and get it before he went 3/4 of the lap down. We have a restart. It looks like Brown and Steinbach this time are going to fight it out. Steinbach's going to dump Brown into a tire there on that straightaway, and he'll continue to move. He good save there coming into the grass and then going back out again. Limburner loose coming out of turn number 2. He'll go around the chicane. And Steve Brown sideways near the restart line.
Sideways and upside down. Bill Steinbach now has the lead. Chad Limburner in second place as Bill gets into the cone in turn 3. You can see Limburner making the turn wide to get a better run up through the chicane. Steve coming around to take, looks like second place from Bill Steinbach, but he'll get up on the outside, get loose. He will try to draft up to the back of him, and he will complete that pass as they come through turn number 2. Steinbach hard into the gravel post.
Limburner steals the lead back, and only to dump Brown into a tire there and hold the lead. Then he gets into the cone there near the start-finish line on the other side there, and that'll give Brown the lead here. Quite a lead now for Brown as he's already heading into the chicane as Steinbach has some trouble. That'll bring out a caution flag once again. Track maintenance team fixing the cones here.
It's just us two, Chad, that's not him.
And fixing that wall up in turn number 2 as it had fallen. Chad coming around on the bottom lane. Green flag is out. Bill Steinbach will get spun by Steve Brown, but he'll floor the gas and keep rolling and actually take the lead. Coming down towards turn number 3, fender rubbing it between Bill Steinbach and Chad Limburner. Steve Brown in third place. And Limburner up into the cone on lap 10. Steve Brown getting up into the concrete wall out of turn number 5. And Bill Steinbach is sideways over in turn number 2, and the wall has just fallen over.
Yeah, he actually started driving backwards there at the end. As they enter turn 3, the cars have now bunched up. Brown has a lot of trouble there on that cone, and that'll give Limburner the lead here. And they're battling it out. Looks like Brown is losing radio reception. Look, his antenna's down there. Could be a radio reception problem as his car will actually die there. Heading to the start-finish line on lap 11. And we'll have a yellow flag and the restart here as Brown goes out to fix his car.
Still awaiting for Steve Brown to complete work on that Ford as the drivers come around to the restart line. Limburner's taking the middle lane. Bill Steinbach just simply goes past. Steve Brown will come around. He'll take the inside lane. Bill's coming back around now. on the outside. Green flag is back in the air. Bill got a little bit, looks like he lost radio reception, and he'll lose more of it up towards turn number 1. He's in third place. It's Steve Brown with a hard lick in the chicane tire wall as Chad Limburner's car goes upside down into the gravel pit. He'll run over, place it back on its wheels. Steve Brown beginning to pull away from second place Bill Steinbach now, up through the chicane. Coming out of 4, going into that hard left-hander in turn number 5.
I must say that Mustang looked great on this lap, and no wonder he has such a lead here, gaining on Limburner, who is in third place, going to put him a lap down here. Steinbach having a lot of trouble with radio reception, it looks like. And Limburner also down there near the restart line. Brown comes in sideways to the picture there. And that great camera angle high atop the speedway. Brown, you can see him standing there to get radio reception closer to that car. And then he'll go into the outside, the gravel area, and almost runs into Chad Limburner there. And he'll continue to move through the gravel, but he'll get stuck eventually. And no sign of Limburner helping him out there, does there?
Steve Brown causes a caution flag here. Going off into the gravel pit. We'll drive around the Mountain Range Raceway, get up under the cone. Coming out of turn number 4, headed towards turn 5 on the bottom lane. Quite the jump there for that Chevy. Ford in second place, and then a battle for second place as Steve Brown spins out Chad Limburner, who goes on the wrong side of the track. Bill and Steve have some trouble in the chicane. Still green flag conditions on the track. Bill Steinbach hits the curb and bounces up into the air. Steve Brown has to dice and dodge his way through the chicane to avoid some of these cones that have come onto the track. And Chad Limburner has lost radio reception in turn number 5.
No, actually, his tires were cut to the left, and that's a problem with his car. Occasionally, the wheels do cut to the left, and they stay like that, especially if he does hit a cone with that car. It seems to hit the axle and pop the axle actually out of the steering body of that car. Incredible. And you can see it's getting windy here. Look at the camera shaking there. This wonderful PttyBlue sponsored race. Make sure you check out his channel.
Green flag is back out, and the duel is on for second place between Chevy and Plymouth. Bill Steinbach gets spun out. Chad gets up into one of the go-kart tires. Steve Brown is still the leader of this race. Bill Steinbach into the gravel pit right in front of Chad Limburner. No assist there. That's the second time he hasn't helped a competitor. Getting ready for a restart attempt here. Bill up into the cone. That car bounced. You can see the left front was up into the air. Single file up towards turn number 2. On the brakes, up through the gearbox, coming up through the chicane on turn 4 and 5. Battle for first place here between Bill Steinbach and Steve Brown.
I'm losing it out too. And that settles down a little bit with Steinbach having a lot of trouble there on the front straightaway of this. And then once again heading into the chicane, he'll cut through the line there, and as Brown is upside down. And what's that? That's not going to breed a caution. The officials have no idea what's going on today. Everyone will continue to roll on here as Steinbach now has the lead.
He'll cut through the center coming onto the front straightaway. Steve Brown up on that passenger side door in turn 3, causing another yellow flag on lap 24. Chad Limburner already at the restart line, taking the inside lane.
Come on. You gotta get a new
Waiting for Bill Steinbach and Steve Brown to return to turn number 5. Here comes Bill into the picture, taking the middle lane. Steve will have to come around on the outside lane. And he does, and the green flag is back out. He'll take the lead up through turn number 1. Single file, Bill Steinbach into a tire in the short chute right before turn 2. Steve Brown spins out in the middle of turn number 4 as Chad Limburner has the lead. Bill Steinbach cutting through, knocking over a cone to continue on in third position.
Look like they're at the start-finish line right underneath that table there. Looks like Limburner lost radio reception. That'll allow Brown to catch up once again, although Brown is now having some trouble through the chicane on these last few laps, and he will take advantage of a problem that Limburner had going to the outside of turn number 5. We have a yellow flag on lap 27, and here's a replay of what caused this. Steinbach in turn number 5 and 6.
You can see him get up onto that bump in the middle of the speedway, send that car up on its side.
All right, 28. All right, here we have about 3 laps to go in this event, and green flag here already as Steinbach gets turned around. That won't breed a caution, though, because he's not 3/4 of a lap down yet. A good save by Limburner hitting the grass, and that dead grass here as we're experiencing a small drought in Pittsburgh.
Steve Brown, the leader, coming towards turn number 3. He'll have to downshift, get up on the brakes. Coming out of turn number 5, still the leader. He'll get into the cone. Limburner and Steinbach try to capitalize on his mistake as the white flag is waving. Both of them disabled and stopped on the track. Steve Brown being very conservative, trying not to spin himself out as the duel is on for second place. Limburner has that spot now, and Bill Steinbach wants it. They get into the Goodyear Racing tire in the middle of the chicane. Steinbach will come around to take second place as Limburner finishes in third place with Steve Brown winning.
Very disappointing day for Limburner as he was coming around in second place for that whole lap. Then they both had the problem on the Goodyear tire. Steinbach actually had the advantage in that Chevelle coming on the outside lane. So kudos to him.
Getting ready to go back to the hallowed grounds of Moon Speedway for more great racing action. You can catch up on that right here on the Three Rivers RC Racing Channel.